You're listening to Honey, We Made a Disney Podcast. Two friends since first grade, now dads reliving the Disney movies we grew up on with our own kids. I'm Eddie Ferguson.
And I'm JB Wagner, and on today's episode, Quack, 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 Quack,
Quack,
Quack,
Quack,
Quack, Quack, Quack, Quack, Quack, Go Ducks! We review the Mighty Ducks. But first, Eddie, before we quack our way out of this podcast and out of this space, Eddie, tell me, how's the family doing?
We are doing good. We're on the mends. Everybody's, getting back there, almost back to 100%. We had a fun time at dinner tonight. I was going to ask you about when a 2-year-old refuses to eat.
Ooh.
How much negotiating, do you embark upon there? Because we had quite the fun escapade here this evening, and Lewis not wanting to eat.
Oh man, I should be a more consistent father. Should have this is the rule. I'm sure this is how Ed would have done it. This is the rules. You're not 15 minutes early, you're late. But it kind of depends on the day for me. I try to be consistent, sure, but it depends on the day for me.
So we had just this epic one where we all, we sit down for dinner, and we've been so sick and out of sorts, we've kind of lost that rhythm a little bit. Yeah. We're trying to put that routine back in. And as soon as we sit down, Sarah looks over at me and she's like, he had Chick-fil-A at 2:00.
Oh, no.
So this isn't going to go well, is it? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, Lewis, all you need to do. And we had cut up, his chicken and stuff. And we're like, you just need to take one bite of chicken.
Oh, the one bite. That's all you need. That's actually harder sometimes.
Just a little bit of protein. We even took all other chicken off the plate so he can see this is all that I have to do. No, it's not that easy.
For you aspiring parents out there, it sounds easy. It's not easy.
My favorite moment is after, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, who knows? You just lose track of time in these things, of negotiating everything. I put the chicken on the end of his fork and I just hold it out there and just take the bite.
Just open your mouth and I will put it in there for you. I will chew it for you.
Right. And I mean, you don't try and force feed or anything like that. But you are persistent. And it was so funny because he's crying and he's being all emotional and dramatic about everything. So I'm sitting there holding the fork out with a piece of chicken, and he with tears. I wish I could. If he's like, and slowly crying, mouth open.
We're just
leans in, bites the chicken, and then
acting like they're gonna die from
just poisoning, and I'm poisoning him. Then he proceeds to crying and barely chewing it. The less I chew, the worse this is. And then decides halfway through, oh, I let in. I shouldn't have done that. And so now he has chewed chicken in his mouth and he doesn't want to go any further. And we're like, nobody, you have to swallow. We spent another 10, 15 minutes
with food in his mouth,
chewed up chicken in his mouth, trying to convince him just to swallow. I mean, we're throwing, you can have a toy. You can watch some Mickey Mouse. We will let you do whatever you want. You just have to finish this bite of chicken.
I thought I was alone in this tactic.
No. And so ultimately it ended. And I went and got him a sippy cup with a lid, right? Because I know that trick. If it doesn't have a lid, we can just, it washed back into the cup, and now we don't know what to do. So you put the lid on it, and he's, it was so hard because you just want to laugh, right? It's just comical. But you're like, don't laugh. He'll break. He'll see your weakness. Don't let them in.
Don't let them see.
So he ate the bite of chicken.
That's good.
And it was just fine. He's still alive. It didn't poison him.
Almost.
But
It
we've
almost-
learned, like, if he doesn't eat a little bit of protein, like right before he goes to bed, like he wakes up with like super grumpy, a little bit of like the he's got to, we're just like, okay, got to eat something.
I feel you.
So that was that. I'm glad to know, it's it is shared.
It is a shared struggle amongst all parents. We don't know what's happening with our children when they're doing this. Because the bargain, we have literally weighed it it's like, you barely have to do anything and we will give you everything you desire.
Just
nope. It's not good enough.
No, not going to happen. So I didn't even make them eat the green beans that were on the plate. Oh my, what are you going to do?
Eddie, it's good news to hear that you got your kid to eat. And I hear that we have some other good news with Disney Plus coming up down the pike, around the corner, whatever analogy you want to use.
Great attempt at a segue. That was wonderful. That was beautiful.
I know.
No, there's been a lot of new stuff come out on Disney Plus lately. They are really trying to step up their game. We've not only had the new episodes of Mandalorian, but the new Mickey Mouse short cartoons. I don't know if you guys watch those, but those are some of our favorites. They did a series on Disney Channel, just the Mickey Mouse shorts. And it's kind of like a new style, really playful and fun. And then Disney Plus took that whole team, and now they're creating a whole new set called The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. And it's just kind of fun. Like, the art style is very vibrant and expressive. It's kind of zany comedy. They have a lot of cool hidden Disney parks and history references and everything. We just love it. Both the Wonderful World of Disney and the Mickey Mouse shorts. It's pretty cool. They actually just opened a ride at Hollywood Studios in Disney World based around this style of Mickey Mouse, because they're like, finally, it's a Mickey Mouse that is, compelling. He's a more well-rounded character in these cartoons. So
is this the animation that feels like Ren and Stimpy?
Everybody keeps making that comparison, and I don't agree with it. I don't see it.
It's slightly.
I hate Ren and Stimpy. It's a lot different. I don't like Ren and Stimpy. I love this.
No, when I say it's a lot different, I mean it's a departure from the typical Mickey Mouse design.
Sure, but that's what's fun about it. It's like they play with it and they tell some really fun stories.
I'll let you have this one. I won't rain on your parade.
You really don't like them?
Let's just say sometimes they're good. Sometimes we're like wide-eyed. What is going? This is kind of like Goofy. First of all, you have to admit that Goofy, whatever they did to him, he's like a gross, like a not kind of scary, almost like homeless man looking Goofy. It's weird.
What?
It's weird. It's
you
not
are
great.
Wrong.
It's not great.
You are wrong. It is.
We'll have to bring
phenomenal.
in our wives and to help settle the score, because
no, they're gonna be. Sarah's gonna side with me. Yeah, no, it's just gonna be 2 against 2 instead of 1 against 1.
That should be our poll question for the week. Are you scared of Ren and Stimpy Mickey?
No, that's not Ren and Stimpy or whatever. I love it. I think it is so inventive and
now
creative.
I need to go back and watch it and see if I agree or disagree.
So I'll have to look this up, but there's like 5 seasons of the original Mickey Mouse shorts of this style. And then the new Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse just came out. And we have watched all of them multiple times.
Well, my son enjoys them. My wife and I don't really care for them that much.
Well, he does have better taste than you. We've always done this.
So another one that just came out, Mulan. It's been out, but now it's out for paying
quote unquote
customers.
free. Yeah, there you go.
For any of you who just had the normal package.
Which they told us that they were. I think they were contractually obligated to say it's going to come out in December. Back in August they released it that way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
so that's out now. I have not taken the time to watch it. Maybe that's something we'll do. Probably not tonight, but another night here soon. We've been really amping up the Christmas, Eddie. We've been going higher and higher than we ever have before on Christmas. So
we'll have
to find some that we usually have. Friday nights is when we do the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have to squeeze in a little bit more.
So other new things that have come out, The Right Stuff, which was a new drama there. They just announced this week that WandaVision is coming January 15th, which is the first Marvel TV show.
Hold up.
January
this is big
15th.
News.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be the first Marvel movie since...
This is the first
Spider-Man.
Marvel anything since Spider-Man Far From Home.
Because we got nothing in 2020.
Right, because they've pushed the series premiere to January 15th, it's official, no new Marvel in 2020. It's like the first time in
May
quite some
they
time.
rest in peace.
Nothing in
May
that
all
time.
of 2020 rest in peace. Eddie, did you see my Instagram today? You didn't, because
I'm not on Instagram.
You are not on Instagram. There is a very special thing that all of us at my company got today.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas time for you guys.
Christmas time.
That's why you said you had a good Monday.
There was many reasons to be happy for Monday. We got. I wish I could. Do I have my phone here? We got a very special, very small thing today.
Yeah.
For Christmas that all of us on that work a job. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to text it to you. I know this is so riveting for our listening audience. I'm gonna text it to you and just get your live feedback right now. Let me see if you can't get that. I might have to send you a photo of it. I just texted it to you.
Grab my phone.
It's an ornament.
Is it 2020 on? Oh, it's a dumpster fire. I love it. Yes.
It is a dumpster fire ornament that all of us at our company got, and it's great.
I love it.
It's the perfect ornament for this year, and I thought you'd appreciate that. But anyways, Eddie, is there any other news that we have to talk about before moving into our movie today? Or are those the highlights?
Well, there's a lot of other things going on. I mean, Black Beauty came out, and we're supposed to find out. Soul comes out on Christmas Day, so there's some other new things coming out this month.
Yes,
but there's also a lot of neat things in development. Right, you've got Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, which they just announced the full cast for Hawkeye. You can see all that.
I used to know when all of these movies were going to be coming out, but 2020 has blown that up completely, and everything's been moved.
But those are all TV shows, so that's all kind of series, like 6-episode series. But hopefully we find out even this week about all of those and some of the dates, and they're supposed to announce what are the new Star Wars ones, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Cassian Andor series. Those are pretty exciting to see all of those coming out.
Are some of the new characters from The Mandalorian going to have their own spin-off shows like Ahsoka?
Which is really cool. But there's rumors. So there's like there's a Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. There's a National Treasure series that's apparently in development.
Wait, Eddie.
Yes.
No, stop. Is Nicolas Cage attached?
I don't know.
This is huge news. You buried the lead on this. This is huge. This is what I watch every year on 4th of July. I watch one of the National Treasure.
So good. Another series, The Sandlot. They're going to do a Sandlot series.
I need to be texting my friend Shane right now that they're going to be doing this. This is crazy.
They're bringing back Darkwing Duck.
Whoa.
And he's going to get his own animated action adventure comedy, and a lead-in to today's movie, there's a live action Mighty Ducks series in development for Disney Plus.
They're going back to their roots.
Big stuff.
It's almost like they have found gold in their old products.
Where have they learned this one before?
I don't know. Maybe it's going to come up in this very episode in a little bit.
So this is all a part of, there was an announcement made a couple of weeks ago that Disney is actually restructuring the whole production side of their company to have a greater emphasis on Disney Plus. Like they're going to be pushing more and more high quality original content directly to Disney Plus to drive up that subscription base.
Which we all love. We all love it.
Which is kind of similar. I don't know if you saw the news. Warner Brothers released that all movies coming out in 2021 will be released on HBO Max and theaters simultaneously.
Yep.
So Christmas Day, I think, is when Wonder Woman comes out. You can either go to the theater and see it or watch it on HBO.
Makes me a little bit sad because of how much I love the theaters, but it's okay. I do enjoy the fact that 1984 Wonder Woman will be in theaters as well. I will.
Yeah, I think I might sneak out to see that because that would be fun. That'd be a good one to see. But I think that's also why Disney Plus is going, okay, we've got to really step up our game.
Yep. That makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
And you step up your game with a Mighty Ducks series because, as we're about to talk about, it's a pretty good little franchise they got there.
Little bit, and franchise is a good word, and I'm glad that it's on the way back. But no further talk about everything else. Let us dive headfirst into the Mighty Ducks.
Cue the Disney-ish sound effect.
Okay, IMDb description for this cult classic. A self-centered Minnesota lawyer is sentenced to community service coaching a ragtag youth hockey team.
Ragtag.
Pretty good. Basically, right to the point. No fluff, not multiple sentences or whatever. But anyways, Eddie, what was your memories of Mighty Ducks? What do you think about when you were like, we're about to do Mighty Ducks on the series? What were you thinking?
So I immediately go back to Snow Days.
Interesting.
I don't think kids these days remember Snow Days because they don't exist anymore. You gotta, I feel bad for kids. The school gets canceled because of snow and they got to go home and have an e-learning day. They don't get out of it.
2020 not only destroyed so many industries, it also destroyed
the snow day. Yeah, it was kind of on its way out before, like 18 and 19. I had heard more and more students like, no, we don't get snow days. We got to do e-learning. But now that's just like, listen, you did a whole school year online. You can do a snowy day online. So, but do you remember like that joy when you would wake up in the morning and it's like, obviously there's no way you can get to school. It's just so snowed in, and you'd rush in, turn on the TV, and they'd have the little ticker of. Well,
it started the night before. You're
Sure.
always like, is my school? And you couldn't like call in. You couldn't go to a website or whatever. You just had to wait for the little ticker to go across the screen. Right. Like, and okay,
the worst was, so we both went to Bethesda B, right? The worst is when you would turn on the TV and they'd be in the C's. The worst, because you knew
you had to wait
I gotta get all the way back around. And then you would see the name of your school, scroll across, and you would just jump up in glee and joy. And I knew the next day we'd watch Mighty Ducks and I would eat SpaghettiOs. That was what we did. It was SpaghettiOs. That's the life right there. And we just had a handful of movies we would watch every snow day. Cool Runnings was another one of them.
course,
We'll get to
of
that
course.
here in a little bit. But Mighty Ducks always was on that list. We would watch several, especially at least one of the Mighty Ducks. So as soon as I'm watching this, I'm getting a little chilly. I got to pull up a blanket.
Did you eat SpaghettiOs while you were watching?
I can't eat SpaghettiOs anymore.
Right.
They have wheat in them.
That is unfortunate.
Stupid adulthood.
No, I love this film. So many definitely has so many iconic moments to it. There was a few that I forgot was actually in a future one, so I will try to hold off from like, wait a minute, was that in this film when he turned the puck sideways? No, that's going to be in a future one. Okay, gotcha.
Is this where he breaks his arm? No. This is when he crashes into the goal.
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing.
Yep. So I forgot. I was trying to write just down all of the iconic characters in this film. The people that stood out to me. I loved seeing a little Joshua Jackson in there. I know from Fringe how much you love him in Fringe.
I love Joshua Jackson. My aunt is convinced that I look like him. To which I'm like, Aunt Connie, have you seen the hairline? No. I guess when I was younger and more hair, but she was convinced of that. Yes, no, I love Joshua Jackson.
You know who I forgot does not have... He's got a very important role, but he's just not in the movie very much, is Hans.
Yeah.
He's such a beloved character for what a small role he has in the film. Like the amount of screen time he has, was way under what I remember. I thought he was like in every other non-hockey scene, but he wasn't. He's only in a couple scenes in the entire film, but nonetheless, still important. Coach Riley, anytime you get a great bad guy that you absolutely hate, and some of his lines in here, some of the things that his inspiring one-liners.
Gotta pop the collar.
Just constantly popping the collar. Well, he should have been counting how many times he says it. Pops. But his thing's like, it's not worth playing if you can't win. And it's not win. And it's not worth winning. So it's not worth playing if you can't win, and it's not worth winning if you can't win big.
Can't win big, yeah.
So many things.
He also had the line of, if you spoil this game, don't any of you think about being on the team next year. It's like,
you're gonna start
you got
over?
it all the way to the championship. Like, just because you lose the championship. Yeah. He's so focused on all this.
Fulton Reed, gotta give a moment just for Fulton Reed, his presence, his towering figure in this, which makes you wonder, he doesn't seem like the same age as the rest of these kids. This is supposed to be 5th and 6th graders.
But every class has that guy where you're like, really?
Did you skip 3 grades? Because you're not supposed to be in the same grade as us. Which it's so funny seeing him as this big, rough and tough guy. Because then what is it? 16 or 20 years later, he's Foggy Nelson in Daredevil. Did you watch any of the Daredevil series?
Yeah.
It's a complete 180.
Totally different.
On the type of character. He goes from this really gruff, supposed to be a big time athlete guy, to now in Daredevil as Foggy Nelson. He's the schlubby right hand sidekick of Daredevil, who's a low time lawyer for common people. It's just funny. And it's like a quick talking. It's like complete. You cannot totally get different. More opposite characters so far apart. But him pulling out the suitcase in the alleyway, and it just flips itself and closes itself. It's just great. I love that.
Oh yeah. Did you? There's 2 West Wing references.
Yes.
So the obvious, you've got Emilio Estevez, who is Michael Sheen's son.
Yep.
Because even as we were watching it, Sarah was like, he looks a lot like President Bartlett. It's like, yeah, that's why.
That's kind of why.
And then did you recognize the judge who sentences Coach Bombay? George Coe is the actor's name. He portrayed Senator Stackhouse in The West Wing. He pops up a couple of times.
Anytime there's a West Wing reference, we got to bring it back up.
Of course. That's what we do for you here at the Honey, We Made a Disney podcast. Yes, no, so I mean, there's just the iconic and even just the grouping. I forgot how much I love the limo driver and how he's got a couple of lines, where he's like shaking the kid and trying to give him the candy.
His huge shoulder mount camera is a major 90s moment.
So the 90s obviously are a big character here. When they visit the hockey arena, I was taken back by all the advertisements along the rink. It just took me back to the 90s, like the old Kmart advertisement. And then up in the center of the hockey stadium, like the primary two advertisers or whatever was Budweiser and Winston cigarettes. Like, yeah, a lot has changed since then.
A little bit has changed since there.
But no, yeah, you just kind of feel the 90s in it so much, which is fun, which is very nostalgic.
We missed definitely one of the most lovable characters in the 90s is Goldberg.
Oh yeah,
which also is one of the stars of Heavyweights as well. If you want a great little nugget,
we'll get to Heavyweights.
So Goldberg, when they tie him to the goal, my wife called this immersion therapy is what she called that.
My favorite, he has this great line in that moment where he says, I don't think my mom would approve of this. I think she wants me to at least live to be bar mitzvahed. And then as the hockey pucks are starting to fly to him, and he's like something along the lines of like, this is worse than getting circumcised.
And then when they leave him there afterwards and like, come on guys, and he's like trying to get out after me. No, his whole mode up front of it almost hit me this time. It's like, Goldberg, you're the goalie. Why are you hiding?
Oh my goodness.
So he brings so much fun. I love using Goldberg. The character that I want to talk about that makes a complete 180 for me, and I saw way more of this character than I remember from when I was little, was Mr. Ducksworth.
Yeah.
He comes across as such a heart of gold person in that first third of the film. Maybe just like the opening stuff. He's worried for Gordon. He's worried he's overworking himself. He's like, you should go help people. So he sent him off to go do his community service. And then he immediately takes a 180. Like immediately changes his tune as fast as possible. The moment it really started when Gordon comes to him and is like, hey, Mr. Ducksworth, I think we could really help these kids. Okay, yeah. How much is it going to cost? $15,000. $15,000. Oh my! I can't believe. I'm just like, bro, you're a big time lawyer in a major city in Minneapolis.
But you own your own firm.
Own firm with multiple partners. You have to be making so much money, stupid money, I'm sure. And 15,000. That's where I saw it start to go downhill for me with me and Mr. Ducksworth. And then, of course, it comes around. Bombay brings back comes in with the dad there, and they're like, we need you to remove your plea for this student. And but they got the whole thing on the wall, the jersey on the wall, just that whole scene of, it's like, well, I'm going to stick with the kids. I'm like, wow, he just quit his job for these kids he's known for 2 weeks.
No, he fired him for the kids.
He fired him. Yeah, fired him for the kids.
Remember that moment? Are you prepared to lose your job
Are
for
you
some kids in hockey?
to fire me for some kids?
I do wonder, like, yeah, I know stuff like that happens, but really over Pee-wee hockey? Seriously?
Yeah. Both ways.
Maybe.
Both ways. It seems a little extreme, but it does, like, I guess that is the good, for the parenting side, the good moral of this movie, of it constantly is saying this is the wrong way to do things. And over again, people stand up against that, whether it's Charlie standing up against Coach Bombay when he's telling him to fake it, when the parents pull their kids out because they're doing the wrong thing, even when the mom when they're pulling him out of the limo when he's on the ice because it's eventually going to crack. It's just, but I just thought it was interesting when he says, "You may have paid for this jersey, sir, but you didn't earn it." I just started laughing.
You're not a real
little
duck.
on the nose. You're not a real duck, Mr. Ducksworth. Mr. Ducksworth. So I just wanted to go on my
Quack,
rant.
quack, quack.
I want to go to my rant about Mr. Ducksworth. I just forgot how much of a turncoat he was.
I love the whole group of kids. I mean, the banter of just kind of upper elementary 90s kids is so much fun with, I love
calling him a cake eater.
The cake eater.
I don't know what that means. Eddie, can you educate me on what being a cake eater means? I feel like I need to be Googling this right now.
I have no idea. I'm afraid to Google it, to be honest with you.
Don't try this. Don't Google, or at least put a filter on your.
So yeah, no.
Hold up, Eddie. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I just,
so you have it?
I looked it up. You have.
Oh no. Tell me.
Cake eater. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, it's slang for an effeminate, party-going dandy.
I still don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means, but the fact that they're calling him a dandy makes me so happy. I'm sorry.
Party-going.
Effeminate, party-going dandy. I feel like I should have my pinky up drinking something with a fruity little umbrella in it.
I don't know, but they call him cake eater. And even in one of the cast listings that I saw, it was like who's the guy? Yeah, it was like Adam Cake Eater Banks, played by Vincent LaRosso. I'm like, I didn't know it was that much that it gets included in the character's name. I love the running gag of "Shut up, Averman."
Shut up! Oh, when he does
But he does it. I mean, it's a good, 4 or 5 times throughout the movie, and just the whole group in unison is just like, "Shut up, Averman." So good. I just love it. Love it so much. All of the different just kind of banter and whatnot of the kids. Can you remember another movie that ends with a epic Greyhound bus departure?
No. Trying to think off the top of my head.
That was one thing that struck me as watching it the second time. I don't remember like the epic send off.
He goes
on
off
a Greyhound bus.
He goes off to rekindle his youth.
His joy of hockey,
which he completely forgot about. Hasn't played hockey in probably 20 years, but you know what? It's his time to go pro.
It's his time to do it. And so the movie ends with just this like Greyhound bus going off into the distance. I'm like, has anybody ever ridden a Greyhound bus? Because the few times that I have, I was just thankful to make it out alive.
You've not had very many great. What was the $5 bus in college you always used to use?
So that's it. Like I used to always do Greyhound out of Chicago, and it was
big bus or something.
I don't know. Is sketchy?
Sketchy is a good word for it.
What's a stronger word than sketchy? I don't know.
Super sketch.
Greyhound was super sketch. And then Megabus opened. Megabus. The big blue and yellow buses. And so
it was so dirt cheap. I took a couple of those up there.
You could get them for $1. They had seats for $1. I did a lot of Megabus. They should have named one of those buses after me. So anywho, it just struck me as really odd. It was just like an epic ending. It's not, not an airplane driving off, not like walking onto a hockey rink or anything like that. It's a Greyhound bus.
Are we ready to talk about the quacking and the flying V?
Iconic moments, right? Like,
everybody knows it's
when
you say the flying V, it means that immediately. Everybody, if you ever say that, if you just in a crowd say the flying V, everybody knows immediately what you're talking about.
Right, because and even in this one, I forgot that it doesn't come until the very end of the movie. Like it's towards the end, and so I was thinking, I'm like, wait, when's the flying V happening? Is that in the other movie? Is it, what about, when is it? And then when he calls for it, which, did you pick up on how he calls for it?
No.
Maybe I should save this for how this movie would be made different in 2020. But he says, hey, Oreo line, come over here. And it's a reference, and they said it even earlier in the movie when 3 kids line up, an African-American kid, a Caucasian kid, an African-American kid.
Yeah, that's not happening in the 2020 version.
And the guy on the other team is like, what, are you guys like the Oreo line?
Oh, I didn't.
And the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a little insensitive. And then Coach Bombay says it again when he's like, hey, Oreo line, come on over here. Let's do the flying V.
I totally missed that part. Yeah, that's not happening. That's coming nowhere near any script, any version of the script.
No, that's not helpful for anyone. So the flying V. Other than that, the flying V is iconic. Ducks fly together. That kind of chant and that.
It's interesting that Charlie Conway was not in the original flying V. He was not on the ice at that time.
No. Because in hockey, you got to do a lot of rotation. Because, man, that wears you out, skating that much. Holy cow.
Yeah. No, the quacking, you get a little bit of when you first meet Mr. Ducksworth. It's like, that's where the name is going to carry them through a lot of it. And he's kind of doing a lot of both that. But by the time they start really getting into the chanting, the quacking, when they use the quacking at their principal, you just love it. You're like, yes, this is back. They're coming. They fought each other, but they had to get their system. Now they're coming back stronger than ever.
It's the forming of the team.
They were on a team before, and now they're really gelling into a team. I love it. I love the quacking.
It's it's of the 4 stages of a team. You have the join, storm, form, and then perform. So you got to storm, then you can form.
Where's this coming from? I feel like you just used this at like a trust fall seminar.
A trust fall seminar. No, this is actually like documented, like how structuring the progression of a team.
So which part does the quacking come in at?
Well, so they stormed, right? They we hate Bombay, and they kick him out, or they leave the team, or whatever.
Hate the coach together.
Team. And then they're all mad at each other because Charlie is still a part of it and not. So there's just kind of that storm moment where they're all fighting, and then they realize, no, we need to be a team, and then they quack at their principal. And you make that shift from the storm to the form.
And I love that he comes back to talk to the team, and like, who do you want to see? This person. It's like, they're all right here. What do you mean? He goes in there like, I will not quack at the principal. Stop it.
I love it. Oh, so yes, they the quacking is so iconic here. And I kind of like it because it bookends just kind of this story arc for Bombay, because like in his first game, he's just trying to be like his old coach, and it's just like win, 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 and he's trying to get the team and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's got his own, the whole stadium is quacking and it's just go Ducks. So, and it's also got a really great moment in the second movie, but we'll have to wait till we get there.
Yes. In the next, there's probably 30, even though there's probably 2 years between, there's probably 30 movies in between by the time we get there. Just want to make note, appreciated when Charlie's doing the triple deke at the end to win the game. One of which, I don't know if you noticed this, he's not wearing a helmet.
Yeah, that wouldn't be allowed.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how regulation. Actually, the majority of the random pushing kids over, I don't know how regulation a lot of that stuff is in hockey. I'm not totally aware.
I'm surprised, JB. You're not up on your your Minnesota Pee Wee hockey rules.
Regulations. I'm not up to par on that. But I did appreciate the very end when he does the triple twist splash, and then he goes and he doesn't just go straight into the net. He flings it like right off the post in.
Well, he's got to duplicate.
He's got to duplicate it, but in the better way. I appreciated that little kiss off the post, as they say.
Oh goodness! So yes, how then would you rate the Mighty Ducks on a fruit snack star rating scale of 1 to 5 fruit snacks?
We've been given this mostly love this whole time. I thought about it over and over again. I don't know. It's probably going to be up in the 4 range for me. I don't know that I enjoyed rewatching it again, but it was way more nostalgia than this is an actual amazing story that's carrying me through. I'm going to give it a 4.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. A 4. I think it's just it's a solid 4. It is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why it was a huge success that spawned a lot of franchise spinoff. Like it is solid.
I think this is a good time to talk about that franchise spinoff, Eddie.
Yeah, so we end up with 2 more movies, an animated series on the Disney Channel.
Which let's just real quick explain to everybody. I should just read the IMDb for this animated series because
and people need to go see some pictures, or it's on Disney Plus. You can watch it. I don't think we are not covering it. It's not on our movie list. It just looks weird.
The Mighty Ducks animated series, a team of humanoid duck ice hockey team / freedom fighters fight evil between games. It's ridiculous. It's like they are aliens that come down to Earth, and they are going to their cover is to play hockey.
You had me at humanoid duck.
Eddie, right here. They put criminals on ice.
Ooh.
Just your typical hockey playing, crime fighting ducks from outer space. Yeah. That's called jumping the shark, everybody.
Love it though. So much fun.
But so the one of the best finds
yes
from my research leading into this. I should have put 2 and 2 together that they were connected, but Mighty Ducks, the movie, the franchise, the legacy, the Mighty Ducks NHL hockey team. It's too close. It's too close to not be. It can't just be a coincidence, and it isn't. I just had never taken the time to. You know how you're just sitting there going like,
no,
yeah, what these things have. There has to be a connection between these two things, and there is. In 1993, the movie came out, and in 1994, Disney launched an NHL team called the Mighty Ducks, and you need to go right now. If you're listening to this, stop listening. Well, wait till I tell you where to go, but stop listening and search for the opening night, opening night of the franchise when they have their first home game in Anaheim. Eddie, you just watched this before we got on.
Just watched
this. The best way to describe this, I'm on Contently is the website that I got this from. They called it.
I'm grimacing in pain.
It's an excessive 15-minute opening ceremony. Eddie, can you describe some of what you saw?
Well, so
I know you didn't get the full 15 minutes to
I'm in so much pain. So let's just begin with the opening. It opens with a life-size Lumiere
from
the Beauty and the Beast, which would have, just come out because, we just covered it. And so they begin with a rendition, dare I say rendition? I don't know, of Be Our Guest, but they awkwardly changed the lyrics
to be about hockey.
To kind of be about hockey, because even then it's just like, and then it's like
we'll be the best. We'll be the best.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, no, this just.
But that's only the first few minutes of this 15 minutes,
and then you have that weird Zamboni comes out, and Iceman jumps up in his guitars, and then it just comes.
We were trying to figure out what. So the dancers, the male dancers, we couldn't figure out what they were doing, what they were wearing. What the theme was supposed to be for them. It literally went on
bizarre.
For 13 minutes.
It's bizarre.
This is before a hockey game, like a professional is supposed to go on. The first, it's crazy, but yes,
you know those hockey players are like
what
side of the rink, just what saying words that we should not say on this podcast, probably.
Yes. So in actuality, this 100% was a marketing stunt by Disney to try and even the guy running Disney at the time, Michael Eisner, who did not have a very good run of his time there.
I beg to differ. He had an amazing run.
He did not have a very good ending to his run.
Sure.
We'll agree with that. Sorry. Let me say that. He didn't have a very good ending to his run, running Disney. But the movie Mighty Ducks was his market research to see how into hockey the country was. Hockey was growing at this time. I'm reading some of this from Contently. You can read more about it. But they used that to then they decided somehow they went from, people are really into hockey. We should go buy, instead of we're going to make more hockey movies, which they did. We're going to go buy a hockey team and just try to ride the coattails of that into something. And it lasted not even 10 years. And then they sold the team. And
they didn't even buy a hockey team. They founded one. They started this one up from the ground up.
Scratch. And did it very quickly, by the way. A year to go from... Now, obviously, it's Disney and the NHL is going to be money. We will... Yes, if you want to invest, go for it. It's crazy how fast that they got that thing turned around. But this wasn't the only one they did it with. They did the same thing in baseball with
Anaheim.
With the Angels, with Angels in the outfield. I should have put these things together and should have at some point in my life go, you know what? Is this based off the movies? Which came first?
So in the 90s, and I need to double check here. So what Disney was doing under Michael Eisner. So just to give you a quick to redeem Michael Eisner here. Before he came into the company, they were being green-mailed, where people came in and started buying up majority stocks and were trying to take over control of the company. And what they were going to do is break apart the Disney company. So they were going to sell the parks off to one company. They were going to sell those studios off, and they were just going to sell it all off, and Disney would have been no more. Right? So in a kind of daring move for the first time ever, they brought in an outsider to come lead the Disney company. They bring in Michael Eisner and Frank Wells. And a part of their business strategy was Disney had the most trusted name in entertainment. What other areas of entertainment can we push into?
Until they went sports.
So they were trying everything. Yeah, they went every which direction. And a part of this is they tried sports, which eventually led them to buying ABC, ESPN.
Yep.
So even though owning sports teams didn't work out, they did find, no, there is a market for sports entertainment. And they went more down they went down the road of ESPN.
Yep.
Which we all agree would be really good. And when he left Disney in 2005, yeah, he had done some crazy things and it was kind of a quick exit, but the company was financially sound, which then led them into the next few years where they just exploded and became the juggernaut that we know them to be today.
Yep. And
so that's where I give Michael Eisner a little bit of love here, even though he did have some crazy ideas like owning a hockey team just to promote your movie.
And neither of which they do not own the Angels and they do not own the Mighty Ducks. And actually it's not even the Mighty Ducks anymore. It's just the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks of Anaheim, whatever. Eddie, there's not some of our normal questions that we like to ask. What if their parent, we only get one parent in this entire, well, no, there's two. Never mind. There's
you got
two,
the dad.
You got the good dad for his two boys.
Which he's actually one of my favorites. When I went back and rewatched all that, yeah, he's just a lot of fun. And
he steps in when they've gone too far.
Yeah.
He's there to help.
This isn't
them.
what I've given up my overtime pay for. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
But then we get the mom, which there's definitely some creepy stuff with Charlie
trying to hook his mom up.
trying to hook Bombay up with his mom, like immediately after saying he's sorry. It's just like there's some weird. Probably need a little bit more time to warm up here. Maybe a little bit more time.
It's a 90-minute runtime, though. Come on, we got to make some love here.
Literally.
Didn't mean that, but yes. Love story.
Yep. So how would they make this movie different in 2020? We've mentioned earlier, maybe no Oreo line. It's not going to happen ever. Any other things that you could see them doing differently in 2020? Trying to think off the top of my head.
I honestly don't think so. I think it really could just shift forward really, really quite well. I mean, of course, you're going to have your natural changes of just kind of styles and whatnot. But I think a lot of the story could just kind of shift forward.
I think they're choosing a different sport.
You think?
It's probably soccer.
Yes.
Probably football.
I don't know that. I'm looking for one of my soccer scarves, and they're not right here. They're usually right here.
Yeah, I don't know that hockey is the sport of choice for this one.
This is true because I mean the movie came out in 90. Where are we at? 93, and Major League Soccer didn't launch in the United States until 95.
It was a little too early.
Yeah.
The my wife actually has another contribution. Not only did she coin the term,
she has many contributions.
She's got some great contributions. This one, the first one was saying that Goldberg was getting immersion therapy. She was on a roll this time.
Yeah.
She also is providing. This is basically close to word for word what she said for the unintended moral consequence of this movie. It's pretty great. If you're good enough at your job, you can drink and drive and commit reckless endangerment, and they will let you off for a little community service and a private limo driver. That's the unintended moral consequence of this film.
I did kind of wonder, like, this is pretty... Yeah, this is a pretty serious offense. I somehow have a feeling it wouldn't be this light. And that's also...
That's why it's only getting a 4 out of 5, everybody. Every other moral thing was good except for that.
But Ducksworth, you were talking about how he's actually a shady character. Like, he's the one that worked out that deal. Like, Bombay would have had
He would have had jail time.
Yeah, he would have had stronger consequences. But Ducksworth's like, hey, I went and I talked to the judge for you. It's
which
like,
is pretty blatantly like drinking that. Like, that was also a 90s feel. It's like he's drinking a a giant bottle. I don't even know if drunks drink open bottles in their cars now. But.
Well, I think it was like an open glass bottle of beer, you know. I don't know. It was an odd scent. It was an odd
so
scent.
that's the my wife brings
good job.
The unintended moral consequence of this film.
Do you have any dad tips for us?
Yes, I would also agree that teaching your kids to fake injuries.
Yeah.
One is obviously not a good telling your kids to fake an injury for to win the game, or it's obviously not right. We would not want them to do that. That's not a good thing to teach your kid. But also, I don't want to watch that game of kids just fake it. I already hate it when professional athletes fake injuries and fake getting hurt especially in soccer and the NBA. I hate that.
No, this is why I can't watch like Latin American leagues of soccer, because they flop so bad.
Yep.
And they learned that in the MLS, like, because they started kind of doing some of all that, and American fans had no patience for it. And so like MLS, you do not flop.
It's bad. I'm sorry. I know that morally that should have been but I honestly can't stand watching sports that just people flop. It's the most annoying thing in the world. So yes, that would be my dad tip: is do not teach your kids to flop, because no one wants to watch that. It's just not good sports.
No. So, question, what is our Mighty Ducks question? We've already got one question of whether people approve or disapprove of the new Mickey Mouse shorts that I'm going to win. Mighty Ducks here. Would you quote unquote lose your job for Pee Wee hockey?
Oh, that's a good one.
To do what's right for Pee Wee hockey.
I would also say that another question would be, with the game on the line, which play would you call if you were Coach Bombay? Would you call the ice skating brother and sister duo to do the spinorama?
That's so good.
Would you have Fulton pull up from half ice and launch it home?
Would you do the Statue of Liberty?
Which one's the Statue of Liberty?
Where Fulton fakes it.
Oh, the fake, the option for that one, so he doesn't have to actually hit it.
They call that the Statue of Liberty.
That's right. Would you double deke your way with a little back and forth, or would you do the flying V?
The flying V.
So we got two poll questions. Which call would you make as Coach Bombay? And also, would you quit your job to do what's right for Pee Wee hockey? Those are our questions for. Oh, and also Mickey Mouse shorts.
No, we won't even do that one, because you're just going to lose miserably.
Yeah, you're so confident you're going to win. You're going to win that. Eddie, what is our next movie we're going to be doing?
Our next movie, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I was just inadvertently in a YouTube research spiral, and I watched a video that had to do with one of the main characters of this.
Make way for the next movie.
Aladdin. Yes. I do say it with a smile on my face, because I enjoy Aladdin. So that's what we will be looking at in our next episode. So if you would like to watch it and listen and enjoy it with us, you have been forewarned.
You've been forewarned. So excited. We are on a good run. We've gotten out of some of the dark hits, the cult hits, the wild hearts can't be broken, and we're on to a nice little run right here. I'm excited about that. And I think, Eddie, we were gonna be right in time for a good Christmas movie for week of Christmas. So stay tuned.
And that wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. It was perfect the way it landed. It's going to be great. You will appreciate. I think it's going to come out on Christmas Eve too. So you're going to have some great stuff to listen to today, next week, and the week after, and the rest of this time. Because obviously, even if it's a cult classic, we're going to make it fun. We're going to make you. We're going to give you so much joy. But Eddie, I got to run. I got to lace up my my hockey skates. So
I gotta go find. I did actually, was such a big Mighty Ducks fan that I got rollerblades and street hockey gear. So I'm gonna go see if I can find that from my childhood.
Nice.